seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
I've got to go. Let me respond. There's a lot to respond to here. Let's get something straight. You shouldn't be disappointed. What I've done so far is more than anybody else has done this far. Okay? Number one. Number two, I mean what I say when I say it. I mean what I say when I say it. I'm the only person who's ever run on 3 platforms that I was told could not possibly win the election, and I never ceased from it. One was on restoring the soul of this country because of what I saw happen in Charlottesville. That was it. No one else was talking about it. The words of presidents matter. Nobody else.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I try to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
That the most potent force in the Republican Party is President Trump. We need Trump plus.
You used the word smart. So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Jeff. We have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, "Pigs in a blanket," talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, you have...
The truth of the matter is that when you look at some of my policies, the truth of the matter is that when you look at some of my policies, in a lot of ways, Richard Nixon was more liberal than I was.
It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone. Make sure the kids hear words.
After his alleged meeting with the Burmese executives. 8 months after his alleged meeting with the Burmese executives. So this Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese. A real beautiful company. They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up, and they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, when they thought about it.
Everybody comes in your grandmother. Everybody comes in your grandmother. Everybody comes in your grandmother, your father, your mother, your brother. Everybody comes in your grandmother.
The truth of the matter is that when you look at some of my policies, in a lot of ways, Richard Nixon was more liberal than I was.
We've ended the war on American energy. We were in war. And we've ended the war on beautiful, clean coal, one of our great natural resources.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those votes were put there. And
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 billion to combat Asian carp, $2.5 billion to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Is this thing on? Hello? Looks like it's on. How's it going, folks? Welcome to Above It Motherfucking All, episode 1240 motherfucking 9 for the day of June 25th, 2021. I am your host, Andrea, and I'm here, so... Why isn't @Cyberdoom531 not talking? Why isn't not talking? Well, the reason why I covered it is because I think it's hilarious. So, to answer your question, why isn't not talking? Because it's really funny. And so, if you want to go watch my video, you can do so. I uploaded it a couple days ago. But, yeah, that's why I am not talking about the Sam versus Crowder fiasco. Hello, Philby, hello, Bob, hello, Menu Frog, hello, Aunt Tifa, hello, Catherine, hello, Abner, hello, Sal, hello, Mila, hello, Other Bob, hello, Paladin, hello, Jay, hello, Sharif, hello, Brian, what's up? So I want to remind everyone, tomorrow, and Sunday, I will be doing a show at 9 a.m. instead of 10 a.m. I will be starting the program 1 hour sooner than I do on the weekdays. Again, this is a daily show. So, but again, because of protest-related activities starting so quickly, so early on the weekends, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the show earlier. So. And so yeah, on Saturday and Sunday, I will be doing 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then on Monday, I will be back to 10 a.m. until the end of that week. So, yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, there's like all the Jimmy Dum Dum Door motherfuckers are the ones who are saying that Sam is bad in that exchange. I think it's hilarious. I think all of those people are just extremely stupid, and I don't give a fuck about them at all. Unless I can mine them for content, of course. Which is something I do somewhat now and then. All right, folks. Google News Roundup. Maryland shooting outside diner leaves 1 dead, 2 injured. A Florida man admitted to storming the Capitol, feds say. Then he told the FBI his pastor came with him. Police stop Exorcism in Home Depot lumber aisle. Honestly, you know what? I'm gonna that one I gotta look at. I gotta look at that one. Hold the fucking phone. What? All right, folks. All right. Police kick out group holding exorcism for the dead trees at Pennsylvania Home Depot. The incident, described as a seance type of thing, happened at a store in Lackawanna County. This is in Pennsylvania. There are places to hold an exorcism and places to maybe avoid holding an exorcism. Any guess where the lumber aisle of a Home Depot falls? A police report from Dixon City in Lackawanna County raised eyebrows this week for its bizarre description of an incident that happened Monday. 3:26 p.m. Commerce blubbed at Home Depot for disorderly people having an exorcism in the lumber aisle. Sick. For the dead trees, authorities wrote. They were escorted out of the building. A call placed to Dixon City Police elicited a chuckle from one officer. There were 2 people hanging out in the lumber department doing their little exorcism thing, the officer said. Some people at the store started picking up that something was happening that was not necessarily normal. Police were called to the store and they were escorted out of the building. The individuals involved will not be charged, the officer said. Well, of course they won't be charged. Why the fuck would they? It was a seance type of thing for the dead, he said. An employee who answered the phone at Home Depot said the store had no comment on the incident. How can you not comment on an incident like that? Like, this is an incredible incident. I have many comments, right? There's a lot of comments that I'm having. Wow. Exorcisms are scary business. The real shame is in this day and age, when every unwelcome encounter at a business is filmed and shared online, no one seems to have a good sense to get footage of what happened, seems to have had the good sense. Exorcisms are scary business. Whether it's the stuff you see in fictionalized accounts of true stories, like in the Conjuring series, or in documentaries that explore demonic possession, such as The Devil and Father Amorth on Netflix. Yo, I gotta watch that shit. Does anyone want to watch some horror films? Can trees be possessed, though? Can they be used for spiritual healing and punishment? M. Night Shyamalan explored this a bit in his 2008 eco-slasher, The Happening, but that was pure fiction. Strange as it sounds, Benjamin Franklin and Antoine Lavoisier conducted placebo-controlled medical experiments in 1784 to debunk the healing practices devised by Franz Mesmer. What the hell? Anyway, so that's what happened. Nice. That's all I can say is nice. And again, this happened in fucking Pennsylvania, so that's an interesting location. Damn. All right. Mark Milley told Stephen Miller to shut the fuck up in the White House. Wow, that's a headline. That's a headline from Business Insider. Someone in the White House said the F word. Boom. What? Oh, shit, folks. The final hours of John McAfee. This is from the Daily Beast. Let's check it out. Seems to have been updated this morning. Barcelona. John McAfee, whose unusual life ranged from brilliant tech engineer to extravagant global fugitive to eccentric jailbird, was strangely reclusive before prison officials in Spain found him dead around 6 p.m. local time, hanging by the neck in his cell in an apparent suicide. Quote, apparent, emphasis on. After the 75-year-old received official word at 4 p.m. yesterday that he would be extradited to the U.S. to face tax evasion charges, McAfee reportedly asked jail workers at the Barcelona prison Brians 2, located in Saint Esteve de Sesvoiver, I'm so sorry, if he could be alone for a few hours in a cell, according to the Spanish daily Diario. I'm so sorry. Normally, a prisoner deemed suicidal would be obliged to be accompanied by another inmate, but McAfee was not considered by prison authorities to be suicidal. Penitentiary rules also allow him the right to time alone. McAfee was nabbed at Barcelona's airport at the request of the U.S. Justice Department on October 3rd, 2020, as he was preparing to board a flight to Istanbul with a British passport. Law enforcement officials had been alerted to his presence after he posted on social media. I love that he posts his posts on like Twitter is what done him in. That's amazing. The ruling by Spain. Okay, blah blah blah. There's no supporting evidence. The High Court. Okay, the court added McAfee's claims had more to do. Okay, we already know. I covered this yesterday. Watch my video from yesterday. While his death is being considered a suicide, prison workers were nevertheless shocked that McAfee had taken his life. One prison official described McAfee as a prisoner for economic crimes with an absolutely normal life. McAfee's death has inspired several inexplicable twists, including a suggestion by former NSA consultant and data privacy advocate Edward Snowden that hacker Julian Assange could be next to die in jail. Whoa! Europe should not extradite those accused of nonviolent crimes to a court system so unfair and prison system so cruel. Now, I'm going to be honest. This guy is running away from paying his taxes, right? He is a billionaire, or at least this like very wealthy multimillionaire. I'm going to be honest. This is one of those instances where I am totally down with the Department of Justice trying to fucking lock people up, globally speaking, for tax evasion. I'm going to be honest, 100% down. Like, as funny and hilarious as John McAfee's, like, you know, little story is, right? And I've got to say, I am a fan of his character arc. I do have to say, the idea of the U.S. tracking people down for tax evasion, I'm down with that. Like, I'm a supporter of that. So I disagree with Edward Snowden on that one. By the way, Edward Snowden was born in Elizabeth City. Little fun fact. So there you go. In life, McAfee embraced conspiracy theories. While in jail, he wrote that he would never take his own life. I am content in here. I have friends. The food is good. All is well. Know that if I hang myself a la Epstein, it will be no fault of mine, McAfee tweeted last October. He has inspired conspiracy theories in his death as well. On Wednesday, an ominous Instagram post with the letter Q appeared on his official account shortly after reports of his suicide were made public. McAfee's lawyer, Javier Villalba, told Reuters on Thursday that McAfee died out of pure fear for what his life would have been like having to face U.S. charges. This is the result of a cruel system, she proclaimed. That had no reason to keep this man in jail for so long. U.S. prosecutors will likely ask the judge overseeing the tax evasion case to dismiss the charges against McAfee in light of his death. So I just have to say, again, I don't think he killed himself. I gotta be 100. I gotta be 100 with y'all. I gotta be 1000% okay. Like, I gotta let you know. I don't think he killed himself. I'm just saying, I think it, like, now, the only possible scenario where I consider John McAfee to have actually killed himself is if he killed himself on purpose as a way to convince people that he didn't kill himself because no one was going to kill him and he thought that it would be anticlimactic if no one killed him in jail. That's the only explanation for why he would have killed himself, is out of spite. That's it. That's all I can think of. Now, I want to say I'm still waiting for those 31 terabytes of data on top government officials that is supposed to be coming out at some point. He said it would be released when he dies, right? So I'm just throwing this out there. I don't think he killed himself. I don't think so. And the only reason I could imagine him killing himself is for spite. And I'll also, again, I love John McAfee's like character story. I think he's hilarious. Again, like during the 2020 primaries, when he was running as a libertarian presidential candidate, and then he couldn't run anymore because he was running for the libertarian nomination, and he was running from the United States government. And so he would post these videos where he's on like boats going across the Pacific Ocean or whatever, escaping from authorities. Right, he would like post updates about how like fucking like Coast Guard fucking people were trying to like shoot at him while he's in a speedboat chase out of like Grand Theft Auto. Again, I love John McAfee's character arc all the way up until he was sent to jail. And so this is a good ending. As far as like an ending is concerned, like if I rate this as like, you know, as a story, the ending is pretty good. But I don't think this is the ending. I think John McAfee's got some more tricks up his sleeve. I don't think he's just going to die without any tricks. That's what I'm like. Something's going to happen. This story is not over, and I'm waiting for the next part. I'm eagerly awaiting for the next part. So I'm going to keep y'all posted on this one. I think it's hilarious. But again, I don't think he killed himself, folks. Unless it's for spite. You don't believe a rich guy that knows his goose is cooked and won't have one more enjoyable day ever in his life would kill himself facing that? I don't. I think John McAfee is way too much of a narcissist to kill himself. Unless, again, it's for spite. The only situation I can see him killing himself in is for spite. Whenever someone leaves the house, the doodle, also known as Cheeto, screams at the top of her lungs for at least 2 minutes. I see a heart necklace. This is my mother's necklace. It is the only piece of jewelry I still have from her, so I usually like to wear it. I think his narcissism is exactly why he would. Again, unless for spite, 100%. Do I still have AMC? I sold out of AMC at $60. But anyway, that's the story of John McAfee, folks, for now. And I'll keep y'all posted if there's any more updates, because this is my shit. I love John McAfee. Again, the guy's obviously crazy, but, right, like, it's hilarious. Like, he's hilarious. Everything he's been posting in the last, like, fucking 5 years has just been amazing content. Amazing fucking content. Sold at $60. Goddamn, that's what I'm saying, right? Well, let me be clear. I sold like 70% of my stack at $25. And I sold like the rest at like, you know, 60. So I did not, you know, buy in at 5 and sell at 60 the whole stack. So that's very important information, but did have a good little tidbit there for sure. All right, folks. Let's see what else we got. Topics to follow. Twitter is recommending vegetarianism. They know me so well. God damn it. right. How's Max doing? Oh, he's doing pretty good. He's on the floor right now, just chilling. All right, time for the amazing checking my phone segment. So, holy shit. Okay. I got like 70 messages to catch up on that like might directly affect me. So like please give me a second here, folks. All right. Can't really make any of that public yet, but there's some developments, folks. There's some developments, needless to say. All right, let's get back on the news. MR got 80,000 new viewers out of the chowder incident. Man, I need to do some chowder incidents. Chowder doesn't cost that much to manufacture. I could maybe like dump a bowl on my head or something and go viral. Anyway, puns aside, got some news here, folks. Check it out. America's continued move towards socialism. Let's go. Just half of younger Americans now hold a positive view of capitalism, and socialism's appeal in the United States continues to grow, driven by Black Americans and women, according to a new Axios Momentive poll. Why it matters: the pandemic has caused millions of Americans, including many younger Republicans, to reevaluate their political and economic worldview. That is likely because of two factors: a renewed focus on deep societal inequalities and the tangible upsides of an unprecedented levels of government intervention. The pandemic is sure to have a lasting impact for decades to come, said John Cohen, the chief research officer for Momentive, formerly SurveyMonkey. I like that name better. Shifts are happening on the right as well as the left, with at least among those under 35. Just 66% of Republicans and GOP leaners ages 18 to 34 have a positive view of capitalism. What the fuck? What? 66%? That's it? What? That's crazy. Down from 81% in January 2019 when we first polled on these questions. 56% of younger Republicans say the government should pursue policies that reduce the wealth gap. Up from 40% 2 years ago. By the numbers, in 2019, 58% of Americans aged 18 to 34 reacted positively to the word capitalism. That plunged to 49% today. Holy mackerel. Imagine being a young Republican. I couldn't possibly. Back then, 39% of all U.S. adults viewed socialism positively. That has since ticked up to 41%. I don't understand. Okay, capitalism bad. Socialism also bad? Who are those people? Right, those are the people that have never read a book yet. And it's okay. Socialism has had positive connotations for 60% of black Americans, 45% of American women, and 33% of non-white Republicans. Those numbers have grown over the past 2 years from 53%, 41% and 27% respectively. Okay, so 53 to 60, 41 to 45, and 27 to 33. Only 48% of American women view capitalism in a positive light, down from 51% 2 years ago. Boom, baby, capitalism, minorities. Boom, it's a minority position now with women. Hell yes. Today, 18 to 34-year-olds are mostly evenly split between those who view capitalism positively and those who view it negatively, 49 to 46%. 2 years ago, that margin was a gaping 20 points, 58 to 38. Oh, shit. The bottom line, politicians looking to attack opponents to the left can no longer use the word socialist as an all-purpose pejorative. Increasingly, it's worn as a badge of pride. That's actually awesome. And that makes me super happy. And so, I'm like, but again, it's all about education, right? If you don't like capitalism and then you don't like socialism, you are uneducated. I'm sorry. There is no third way position, no Bill Clinton, style politics that you can choose there. Oh, actually, you thought because I didn't like capitalism that I like socialism? Just kidding. I don't like both. What we really need, ... that doesn't exist. So it's capitalism or socialism. Pick one. If you don't like capitalism, I've got news for you. You like socialism. But again, people need to be educated in that facet. Schools do not educate you on this. This is something you all have to find out by yourself. You have to research it yourself. You have to learn from a family member, learn from a friend. You have to learn from a podcast online. You're not going to learn from school. You're not going to learn from college. You're not going to learn from any of that bullshit. You're definitely not going to learn about this at a job site. No way, no way, no way. So the only way to learn is from your peers, and the only way for people to learn is to teach them. So I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. So again, I'm going to look at this little, there's a developing situation. So did a good job on Binder's show. I was a week ago or so. Hey, Bodan. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. Reminder, folks, I will also be back on the Ben Dixon show on Monday, unless they bump me. All right. There's a developing situation, folks. A situation, it exists, right? And more information on the situation is coming to light. And that information is then, as more information comes, the older information becomes more relevant and understandable. Therefore, the situation is developing. It is a developing situation. And so, I'm dealing with that. There used to be a dog. There is a dog on the stream, on the floor. You use swipe typing? I don't believe you, because I don't think anyone can do that. Yowza. There is a okay, so the situation is developing. Okay. All right. Okay. There's a developing situation, folks. I can't say anything else right now, but it is a potentially... Well, I don't want to use the term serious, right? Because serious could mean anything. Serious could mean, like, I'll die. That's serious. Serious could mean I'm going to lose my foot. That's pretty serious. So, I don't want to use the term serious. But there is a developing situation. I don't know if this is going to affect the live stream right now. It's possible. But there is a situation developing. And, so, it's developing. Yikes. Are you supposed to guess? No, I mean, you can if you want. But... yeah, so there's a developing situation. I've not been in this scenario often, so I don't... It's a developing situation. All right, so there's a developing situation. Okay, it's not a good one. It's not a good developing situation. It is a potentially bad developing situation. It is a situation that's developing that is not good. Though, I mean, it could be good, right? Because, like, the thing is, like, I have to remember, I do a podcast, right? And so, if there's a developing situation that affects me, right, and the situation develops to the point where it's publicized, that's content, right? So, like, the developing situation may have a good aspect to it. That does not mean that the situation being developed is something I necessarily would want to deal with. But the situation is developing nonetheless. And that's the situation. So, it's developing. I mean, you don't have to guess. You'll find out. Like, you don't have to guess. But I will say it has to do with law enforcement. So that is the one thing I will say. Anyway, with that being said, let me skip all the other segments I had planned and get right into the main segment and get that done with, because I'm gonna probably end up ending the stream very quickly. So just give me a little bit of time here, folks. Give me a little bit. The situation's developing. There's a developing situation. And we'll see how it goes. All right. All right. So yesterday was the 65th day of protests in the city of Elizabeth City over the police murder, the execution of an unarmed black man, Andrew Brown, who was fleeing from police, and police opened fire in his school zone at 8:30 a.m. Bullets from the police, horrible shots, ended up hitting their own vehicles that were parked on perpendicular roadways, endangering their fellow officers. And they also ended up entering a neighboring house, potentially killing people if they were present, but thankfully they were out at that current moment in time. And so that's the story. And so far, all of the officers have not been charged. The shooting was claimed it was justified for whatever reason. I guess almost killing a neighbor of someone is justifiable as well. The fact that they're not, like, Andrew Womble, the district attorney, has not even mentioned at all the fact that the neighbor had their house shot up by the cops. Hey, that doesn't matter, I guess. But anyway, so yesterday was day 65 of the protest. We've been going for 65 consecutive days, and that's pretty cool. So we all, we're all there. We're at the courthouse to set up. And so another thing is Roy Cooper is going to be out on Sunday. So the show is going to be early on Sunday, 9 to 10. I'm probably going to have to get down there at like around noon 30 because the governor is going to be holding a press conference and be taking questions. To my understanding, only people that have been marching are allowed to be asking questions. That is going to be the gatekeeping. So if you want to drive down to ask Roy a question, sorry, you got to have those credentials. So we start the march and we head down to Elizabeth Street, which is the street that contains the Pasquotank County and Camden County Bridge. And so we went there. I took this really good photograph. Look at that shit. Look at that. You got the sun, coming right in your fucking face. You got the shadows. You got my knee, which is visible at the bottom left. I tried to get it out of the shot, but that's my knee. And we got the shadows being cast. I love shadows. That's some of my favorite things. And so here we have a sign by someone whom wrote a sign that I had no participatory interaction with. And so the lack of transparency is little dick energy. I didn't say it. Like, I had nothing to do with this. I just saw the sign. I took a photograph. And that was the end of my participation. So at the end of Elizabeth Street, what we did was we decided to march on the bridge. And so what I was doing here was I was standing on like the little thing, the median part of the bridge, to get like a nice overhead shot. And I was on some like really wobbly thing. You can see me almost like drop, like almost fall right here. Check this out. Like I'm almost falling, as you can see. So check it out. I go like, whoa, you know, whoop. So I'm on this like little wobbly thing, and I'll point that out again later. So we cross the bridge, and I get this nice shot from the side. The flag and the breeze was working pretty well there for my photographical, perspective. So here I'm back on the median. I decided to include the part of me running up there. And so I wanted to get a nice little, you can see all the cars coming across and some of the police escort, which I love. I love a police escort. So while I'm pushing this back here, I want to tell you, right? So there's like these little, I don't know what these are, but I was standing on these things the first time. And so these are not secure. I thought that they would be more secure, but I was standing on those the first time and I almost fell. But either way, I wanted to play this segment here because some protesters that were arrested had court appearances yesterday morning, Jim being one of them. And so I asked them about what was going on down there, and I got a little bit of an answer. So let's listen.
Start over.
My name is Jim. I was at the court today with two other people, African American. All of us arrested for the same thing. We went to court. When we walked into the court, they said all of us need to get our fingerprints. Okay, we go. They call the two African Americans into the other room. I assume they're getting fingerprint in the other room. They leave me there for a bit. I think, okay, whatever, I'll be in a second. I wait 20 minutes. I go and I ask the clerk, what's going on? You guys forget about me. I give them my name. Then they give them my name. They go and they check. They say, no, you don't need to get fingerprinted, and they send me out. Turns out that what they did is not only did they have the African Americans get printed, they also escorted them, police escort, across the street to the police office to get printed. Just, yeah, welcome North Carolina.
And what did the judge have to say about that?
I wasn't in there when that part happened.
Okay.
But yeah, the judge, my understanding, and you'd have to talk to someone else, is that he was an out-of-town judge. He was in here, and he just said, I'm not getting involved in politics.
Well, then why are you a judge? What is that? Okay, I'm sorry to blow your interview here. You're a judge and you don't want to get involved with politics? Bitch, motherfucker. I just want
to point out Jim's shirt, Soup for My Family. Hot shirt. I gotta say, it's really good. I like
Do you know what your job is about? My God. Anyway, anything else you want to say?
No, bitch, motherfucker sounds right.
So there you go.
All right.
That's what happened yesterday morning. And so again, they're fucking with people. They're fucking with people pretty hard. Again, there's a developing situation. I don't want to I don't want to keep saying that, but there's a developing situation. And so, they're potentially fucking with me at this point, but I'll keep y'all posted on this one. But yeah, so they're the idea that they're going to try to fingerprint only the black people in the courtroom. I mean, that's like, what? What? That's crazy shit. That's bizarre. And so, I thought I wanted to include that, and I'm going to try to get, see what some other people that were present had to say about that. An entire branch of government is, I don't want to get political. Right? But overall, the march was okay. It was a little shorter than I would have liked, but it was okay. And, so I would say, I don't know what I would say. It was a march. We marched. I got some good photographs. I got an interview, and I've got some good video. So, I mean, it was a march, and we marched. And so that's what happened. Day 65, folks. Today will be day 66, and there's going to be a lot more days. I mean, it's not going to stop. I ain't going to stop. And so we're going to keep going until it's day 3,000. I don't know. We're going to keep going. And so anyway, that's it. That's the recap. So yeah, there's like a developing situation. I know. I'm sorry. I might have to end the stream early. So like there's a situation developing. But yep, there's a developing situation. The situation is currently continuing to develop. And I'm not in a position where I can publicize the details of the developments, but I assume by tomorrow morning I will have more information that I can make public, or not. it's possible I won't make the information public tomorrow, but just know that there's a developing situation. If you don't see me posting for 12 hours straight or something, and I'm not sleeping or something, consider the situation even more developed. I don't know what's happening yet. That's the problem. Is I don't quite know where the situation is developing. And that's the situation. We're and so that's the situation. And yeah.
Developers.
All right, so anyway, folks, I'm going to turn the stream off. I will go see more. I will go research more into the situation that is developing. And we'll find out. We'll see what's happening. And it's possible nothing will. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm not a lawyer, right? So I don't know what's going on. So it's possible I'm just, slightly freaking out for no reason. That said,
Developers.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible.
Get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.